far based on performances registered so far this year. Third fastest so far is Jonathan Gonzalez from Cimarron. He's a junior, and he has run an 11:53.84. Maxwell High School has Caden Floyd. He's run the second fastest time this year at 11:51.7. And Noah Bayong from Queimado High School has the fastest run so far this season at 11 minutes 35.92. So we'll see if those top performances hold as the boys are underway. Much faster race initially, much bigger stride as well. Again, the girls' winner comes in at around 14. Boys' winner should be at around 11:30. So obviously a faster race. So as they come around the home stretch for the first lap of 8 here in the boys' 3,200-meter run, the field actually starting to separate itself. 3 out front, out to about a 20-meter lead so far. And after one lap, already have some pretty good separation, about 40 yards, 50 yards maybe between the leader and our last place runner today. So again, they're pushing each other. It certainly has been an odd season, and although track and field usually happens in the spring and it can get warm, this is unusual having these athletes perform in June like this. Not only in the track and field, but we've been seeing some softball performances and temperatures that approach the limit. They say that if the temperature reaches 104 degrees, that they have to pause the action until things cool down. So we've been pushing that here in Albuquerque, depending on your thermometer or what thermometer you call official. We've been at or near that 104-degree mark and still playing. So what an additional accolade and a little level of respect we can add to what we're seeing this year as far as these New Mexico boys and girls high school athletes and the conditions that they've had to compete with the masks and the heat and who knows what else, limited practice time and all kinds of things. But they are all, one thing for sure, it's unanimous, they are all glad to be here today with a chance to compete in the Class A State Track and Field Final. We're watching the boys' 3,200-meter run. Again, if you're looking for the long jump, the pole vault, and the shot, that is available on a separate NFHS stream. So there are other events that you can monitor on a separate stream. So just a couple of devices working today. Again, we will also be able to bring you the medal presentations, as that is quite an exciting situation. That's what you remember, for the rest of your life, for sure. I've been lucky enough to stand on that podium. It was in Nebraska over 40 years ago, and I'm not bragging. I'm just saying how fun it is to be here 40 years later. If that's any sort of a validation on how long these memories last, then there you go. From my personal experience, standing on that podium, especially on that top spot.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we have on our podium our recipients of the NMAA scholarships. NMAA.
Nice moment there as we recognize some other student athletes for some of their accomplishments, as a scholarship awarded there, the Together We Rise scholarship. Of course, many of New Mexico's high school student athletes get to go to college. It used to be the lottery scholarship funded 100% of the scholarships, but now, because it's such a popular deal, it's down to about 70%, which is still pretty good. So a good opportunity for a lot of these student athletes to continue their education and maybe perhaps their athletic competition as well. As a lot of universities and colleges will have walk-on programs as well. And the other fun thing is that we get to see some of these student athletes go on at Western New Mexico or Eastern or Highlands or things like that. So this is not the end of the road by any means for many of these student athletes. It's just another mark on their way up as they continue to grow and get out into the world. So fun day today, though. Hey, and it's a school day, and here we are at the track. But that brings up a whole other different situation, is that a lot of these student athletes aren't students today. They're actually kind of like semi-pro athletes, where they're not in class. They just show up for practice, and they show up for games and meets. So, or being like a college athlete, really, with classes 2 or 3 days a week. So it's a whole different experience on so many levels, and that, again, goes into our appreciation and admiration of the performances today, and then agree with and comply with, and the parents as well. So glad that things are getting back towards normal, and how much fun it is to watch these guys go today. With a time of 11:24, here comes Maxwell. Wow, that is a sprint kick to separate himself from the distance, but worth it, because that gets him the bronze medal. Also from Queimado, that was Cable Angelus, who came in with the 5th best time of the day. Look at these boys. At the end of 3,200 meters, they're running as fast. They're hitting my top speed. These young athletes are inspired today. If this is any sort of an indication of what we're going to see today, and reminder, this is Class A. Look at this battle here now, and these guys are out of the money. This is like for 5th and 6th place, and look at them gut it out and finish strong. Oh boy! And again, even the runners that are finishing off the podium still giving it their best as they come down the final stretch. And again, we don't know. It could be a personal record for them, a school record. First time they've been at the state meet. So they're having a great time, and they're finishing strong, and we love the way they hold their heads up high and do their best regardless